Welcome back. Look around the region. A lot of cloud cover now. Temperatures dropped a good bit in Forsyth, 64. Most of us in the region still in the 80s, but we do have a cold front coming in from the northwest. It's going to start to drop a couple of our temperatures. It's not going to necessarily get through the entire region. Very, very slow moving front. What we are seeing right now, I'm going to go ahead and loop this over the last, let's go for the hour. So do have a flood watch, obviously, as mentioned, until 2 p.m. on Friday, but check out the lightning. Plenty of that, and this is mentioned very slow moving, only just now starting to get into our northwestern counties, and we've kind of been following this since, earlier this afternoon. The bad news with slow moving cold fronts is they dump a lot of rain, and when you have a tropical system coming in, that is the last thing you want to see. So upper 60s, low 70s heading into the start of your Thursday, which is most certainly going to be the toughest day for us this week, particularly during the overnight hours. Trying to form in Helene now. You can see the northern rain bands are creeping their way into the southern parts of Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. If this would maybe you just need to see my eyes. There we go. So you see starting to creep up, and I mean the cold front has fully grabbed a hold of this storm, right? So you can see where that cold front is, kind of separates a little bit, but definitely has grabbed onto this storm and it's just yanking it northward. So we have a hurricane warning in effect for the southern half of the region, mainly the southwestern half, and the rest of us are under a tropical storm warning. This is going to carry into Friday. I don't know why it says Tuesday, but it's going to go into Friday, all right? We're expecting the worst of this again overnight tomorrow night into Friday morning. You see that hurricane symbol with a 1 on it just to the west of Macon. So we are expecting hurricane conditions in parts of middle Georgia. That's why the warning's there. Peaking Category 4 and might still be Cat 4 at landfall as it goes into the Big Bend of Florida. Now, things a little dicey in terms of what we can expect here, right? Let's start with the cold front. It's mainly the western counties that I'm expecting to be impacted by that. By the way, I have switched models. So this is the NAM now instead of the one I was showing you before. This is the one where I don't like the timing as much, but I think that in terms of the wind and the threats that you're going to see in terms of numbers, it's going to be a little more accurate. So in terms of tomorrow, things are very interesting during the day. Are we going to deal with moderate to heavy rain throughout the day, or are we going to get some light showers? Because you want the light showers, all right? The less rain we get ahead of Helene coming in, the more sturdy the trees will be and be able to resist that wind. If the ground is saturated, they're going to get blown over much easier. You see these gusts, all right? As I mentioned earlier, those 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, there's no way that's doing it justice. We wouldn't have a hurricane warning in effect if we were expecting gusts of 50 miles an hour. Gusts will be pushing 100 miles per hour. Sustained winds will be over 70 miles per hour. Even in the northern counties, there are tropical storm warning. Tropical storm winds range from 39 to 73 miles per hour. That is a very large range. We are expecting catastrophic impacts, and you need to hunker down. You don't necessarily need to evacuate, but hunker down, prep now, water, non-perishable foods, battery chargers, things like that. That's what you're going to need in order to keep yourself going as we head into the weekend while power is likely going to be out. Hurricane wind field, I honestly think it's going to be a little more north than what this is showing based on the recent issuing of that hurricane warning. Tropical storm wind odds are extremely high around the entire state. As I mentioned earlier, everywhere in Georgia is under a tropical warning of some kind. Most of it's tropical storm, but a good chunk of us is hurricane. For the cold front today, we can't rule out a brief spin out tornado, but there was one earlier in North Georgia. I think that's the only one there's been. Mainly a flood concern, the western counties. It's tomorrow in the evening and overnight. You've got to be able to get those warnings. And the farther west that eye tracks, the higher the tornado risk will be in our eastern counties. Your extended forecast is coming up in 10 seconds. Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. Hurricane conditions expected tomorrow evening and overnight. Should start to calm down as we get towards the sunrise on Friday. We'll still be left with a pretty good wind. Gusts will be over 40 miles per hour, but at least things are going to calm down, be cooler and less humid over the weekend and into next week.